Good morning. I think that we're live from beautiful downtown Phoenicia, New York. And I see people are on already. Wonderful. So I'm just adjusting my webcam. It's so beautiful, but a little bit of a heavy gray sky today, getting ready for some rain. So welcome everybody. Welcome to Tarot Time on the Medium channel, where we bring you the spirituality behind the message and assist you in your awakening process. And I have to say that we're definitely in the beginning of a really, really intense, we'll say roughly a 6-month cycle, but that's going to carry into really into 2024 and beyond. So we've kind of been, say, around 2020, with all that's been going on with world events and whatnot, really kind of in the cusp of the Great Awakening, and we're about to enter showtime. We're about to enter the heart of it. So I'm going to start the tarot reading in just a second or two, but I wanted to just say, a couple of special announcements. For the next 6 months at least, I'm going to start a monthly live stream, just talking about the month ahead. And I'll touch a little bit about on the astrology and numerology, but mostly what I'll share is what I'm getting from spirit. And we're going to start tomorrow. So tomorrow at 11 a.m., I'm going to do another live stream about the month of October, Libra season. Um, three planets are three different planets are going to go direct in the next couple of weeks. That'll be Pluto, I think, tomorrow, and then Saturn, Jupiter, and Mercury go direct later in the month. And we have a supercharged full moon in Aries on the 20th. So there's going to be a lot to talk about. And my guides are starting to download some information. The idea is to be really prepared. So it's going to be a very intense few months. And just as a little bit of a sneak preview, US and global money markets and financial systems are going to be especially hit by this, but there's going to be a lot of shaking up with this Libra energy and the Libra Aries. Well, it's the Libra New Moon tomorrow. And then on the 20th, it's the Libra Aries full moon. So Libra is really about law. It's about balance. It's about adjustments, all that good stuff. So that's going to be, so I'm going to start doing that tomorrow and then every month for, until, whenever. So that's that. Then tomorrow at 7, so we have 2 live streams on Monday. We bring back the beautiful Heather Istara to do a presentation here on the Medium channel. And if you are a medium yourself or a psychic, or you want to learn, or you get messages or whatever it is, she's going to do a presentation and a little meditation on healing, specifically for mediums, spirit communicators, channels, other healers, psychics, mystics, awakening people. So tomorrow, 11, the monthly forecast. It's not going to be so much tarot. It's just going to be what's coming through and what I'm getting, as well as throwing in a little bit of astrology and numerology. So on that note, we're going to have Sharita Starr on also. I talk about her a lot. She's very, very powerful and very knowledgeable when it comes to astrology, numerology, Chaldean numerology. So I'll probably have her on around the beginning of November. And as Pluto goes direct, I think it's tomorrow, we really start to enter the Pluto return phase of the United States. And so, the US is a young country. It takes Pluto, I think it's 236 years to circle the sun. Well, in any event, we're going to have the first return, or the first time that Pluto crosses its natal Pluto. That'll be the first pass, and it'll go retrograde again, then direct again. So there's going to be a few more passes between February the 20th, I believe, 2022. That's a lot of twos, right? And that's going to last into 2024. So I don't have a date for her yet. I'll probably have her on for a presentation in early November. So on that note, welcome everybody. Let's do a little tarot stuff. So I gave you a little bit of background here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a meditation card for us. And this will be very helpful for this group, for this collective. And the idea is, since I'm on the topic and I'm mixing the cards up, and I don't know what Spirit's going to say through the cards, honestly, but I feel like they're coming through and just saying, buckle up and be prepared and to stay present, stay in your own power. That is the key. And I've been talking more and more and more about things like presence, about learning and practicing heart-brain coherence. Look up Heart Math Institute. They have all the goods on that. They've been studying the heart as far as a spirit. What are the right words for that? They've been studying the heart. But they've been studying how the effects of the heart have on our bodies, on our lives, on our reality, and how to balance that. So heart coherence is really just raising the emotional frequency of the heart to such emotions as love and gratitude and compassion and caring and things like that. That's what the heart naturally wants to do. But with the programming of the society and all the stress that we're under, the heart doesn't really do its job from an energetic perspective, and therefore it doesn't do its job really from a physical perspective either. And most people live in stress. According to studies, about 70% of the waking hours of the average American are spent in stress hormones and fight or flight hormones. And when that's happening, we can't possibly open up to spirit, because we have to be, when we're in fight or flight emotion, we're faced with a danger. We have to be very hyper vigilant in the body and the physical surroundings. So it takes warriorship skills and practices to be able to be in situations where we're threatened, yet not in survival mode, but rather expanded into spirit. And then the body and the mind knows what to do. So anyways, that said, this is our time to really practice these things: meditation, getting in our center, really developing the lower chakras, because those are the survival chakras, especially the root and the sacral chakra. So really learning how to ground and learning how to open the heart. Heart coherence means just allowing the heart rhythms, the electromagnetic frequencies of the heart to be coherent rather than erratic. That happens when you elevate the emotions of the heart to love and gratitude. And then when that happens, because the heart and the brain are connected and they're sending signals back and forth all the time, especially to the heart, to the brain, this according to Greg Braden and others that I've been studying lately, when the heart comes into coherence, so does the brain. And then we access our genius selves, or our superhuman selves. And then we can access higher levels of healing abilities. We can access greater abilities to create our reality and health too, and health and well-being and spirituality. So Pam, I like Pam Gregory too, Michael. She's excellent. In fact, she's excellent. Armand Diaz from Integral Astrology is a weekly mood cast. That's what he calls it. And he breaks down the aspects for the week and tells us what the mood's going to be, so we can prepare for what's going on out there. And of course, my favorite tarot reader on the platform, Amy, does on Elevated Intuition, Spirituality, and Tarot channel, does a weekly forecast where you get to pick a pile and get a more personal forecast. So this is really going to be for our group here, and our group extends well beyond the 20 or so people that are on live, because there'll be hundreds that watch this as a video. So you're all part of this community, and this will be what Spirit is saying would be the best card for us to meditate on this week. And I'll explain for any newcomers how I recommend meditating with the tarot. And the card I pulled, this is interesting. It's the Three of Swords. It's like the Three of Swords tells us not to be afraid of pain and loss. That's part of life. And if we embrace it, it's almost like embracing joy, because joy, well, let me back up a second. Different emotional, like polar opposites, one cannot exist without the other. So if we're not really embracing the fact that life has its separations, life has its challenges, life has its moments, if we're afraid to feel those feelings, then we cut ourselves off from feeling joy and feeling love, which is the resonance of the universe. So even though, the Three of Swords, people see that it's like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Well, it's we really have to embrace, not just intellectually, but with our hearts, embrace the fact that what's going on in the world, there's a pandemic, that's almost, I mean, I don't want to underplay that, but that said, that's almost like the tip of the iceberg for everything that's going on. And there's just not a normal to go back to. It's all different. Once the pandemic is done with, it's not going to be the same world, and we need to be adaptable. We need to let go. So even though this may not be the happiest card to meditate with, the way that you do this is you can take a snapshot of this card, or you can, if you have tarot cards that you work with, you can use yours, and you just take a mental snapshot like any other meditation. Relax the body, relax the mind, get present in the moment. When you're very present, you start to lose your sense of physical identity, and you start to identify more with who you are as soul, as spirit. So once you reach that place, step into the card. It's almost like a window or a doorway, opening you up to a panoramic scene. You may see a heart with swords in it and clouds, but the rest of the card, it may be all sunshine and children dancing. We don't know that until we actually step into the card and see what's going on behind what you're actually able to see. So that's how we meditate with tarot and get messages from that. So interesting that this is the meditation card for the week. I feel like it's a new moon. I feel like a lot of this is letting go and reprogramming. It's change is hard. We live in a fractal universe, that everything in the universe wants to repeat the same patterns over and over and over and over again into infinity. So our subconscious mind, which are linked to our survival issues, are the same way. So the subconscious wants to recreate the same reality for us over and over and over and over again, because that's what the subconscious feels that we need to survive. So it's only through the invocation of consciousness that those patterns will change. So it's through connecting to spirit, connecting to our higher consciousness, and applying through our will and through our intention change that we wish in our lives. And then when we start to make that more real, or at least as real in our subconscious mind as our current patterns, that's when patterns start to change. And when we change our personal patterns, it does bring up heartache. It does cause separation from what we thought we knew, what's familiar to us, from people in our lives that are familiar to us. Because as we evolve and grow, that does not mean all your friends and family members are evolving and growing with you. And at some point, a decision needs to be made, whether you're going to stay aligned with people that are in a lower frequency, or if you're going to continue on your path. So on the spiritual journey, yes, you do have to leave people behind sometimes. You do have to leave certain habits that bring you comfort, or certain ways of thinking, or doing or acting that bring you comfort. You have to leave those behind in order to evolve and to move into the new energy. So, in any event, on that happy note, let's do a 3 card spread now. But like I said, without pain, there's no pleasure. There's just boredom, because everything's just a flat line. So that's part of life. What can I say? I just pick the cards. I don't choose them. um, so it's interesting, that I'm picking this card, and it's a very gray day, and it's been since the early summer. That's the way it's been. I'm used to clouds. Every now and then, the sky's clear, and I'm like, oh my God, that blue is beautiful. And I'm like, what's that yellow orb in that blue? I think it's children. We call that the sun. Anyways, sorry. Bad joke. All right. I see a piece I like that. Thank you. Yes. Hi, Janice. Welcome. Hi, Laura. Hi, Michael. Hi, Doreen. I almost forgot your name for a second. Yeah, Pam Gregory. Yeah, actually, Janice, thank you, because you turned me on to Pam Gregory, and I adore her also. You sent me that, and I saw like the her thumbnail. I'm like, wait, is that Lucille Ball? But which has very different energy than Lucille Ball, and just sort of a loose resemblance. I'll put it that way. And her hair's not red. All right, so here's our 3 cards. Okay, it's weird to say you mix them up enough. This is a good, actually, energetically, this is a really good kind of letting go day. I don't know when. I should have checked my astrological times. Maybe the moon's already in Libra. If anybody knows that, if the moon's still in Virgo, if it's void, of course, or if it's in Libra, that might be helpful. But either way, like, this is a good time to close any chapters that may have been activated this month. Get ready for a new beginning. Again, very powerful Libra energy. And we really need to just really focus on just being in our own sense of balance and our own equilibrium and grounded. They keep sending my energy to my root and sacral, and keep saying, to tell you guys, really, for the next 3 or 4 days and beyond, but especially the next few days, to really meditate on the sacral. That's our creative chakra. That's our emotional chakra, and on the root. Okay. And I'm gonna, talk about this tomorrow too, because as I'm looking at these cards here, it's very interesting in a way, because part of this energy that we're coming into, and it's been building for a while, but with the heavy Libra energy, and then an Aries full moon to follow that, and then Pluto followed by, I think, Jupiter and then Saturn going direct, or is it Jupiter, Mercury, Saturn going direct? But anyway, the long and the short of it is, this really affects like legal systems, governments, financial systems, and there's also like these Neptune aspects, and people that know more about astrology can iron that out for you. But through the tarot cards, and I see these 2 cards together, because the Hermit's about wisdom, and the High Priestess is also, in a way, wisdom energy. Like this is Virgo, this is the moon, and when I see these together, it just feels like a lot of deception. It's almost like things flipping on their head in a way, like a lot of like misbeliefs, false perception. A lot of stuff's likely to get challenged. I think we're going to find during the week that people are going to be even more on edge, and a lot of people are going to be attacking other people for really just no reason. So, again, this is a good reason to really be in your root, to be in your power. Like our power is really in our heart, but as far as how we express that in the world around us, it's really in our root chakra. And if we can really build the resonance in the root and the sacral chakra, we're going to be able to withstand a lot of pressure coming at us from the outside. And I think we're really going to get a big gist or a big taste of that this week. And if some of you are thinking, well, Adam, we've been getting that taste of that for the last year, but I think it's reaching kind of another level and a new level. And I feel like I don't know if it's Biden, it may be actually like the British Prime Minister or Australia or something like that. I really get the sense of some prominent world leader really getting shamed for something, and I don't know exactly what that is or what that means, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of fact checking and rechecking, and a lot of issues with the money markets and things like that. So really, I think as this new moon hits, we're really going to get a big taste of what's coming up in the next several months, I want to say as well. This is really emotional. This is how this high priestess card is hitting me now. Really emotional. Um, this is why, and I did a live stream on it was on my birthday, so it was the 24th, where I talked about the practice of heart-brain coherency. It's kind of modified in my own practice, but what I learned through Heart Math Institute and through Greg Braden and Joe Dispenza, primarily the way that they practice it and the way that it works for me. And we're still doing the 21-day heart-brain coherence challenge, by the way, for those that are in or want to be in. By the way, it's also Spirit Communication Month on the Medium channel, as well as on Spirit Mind Family. And I'll talk more about that at the end. So I don't want to take energy from this. The Three of Cups is nice because that's about meeting in groups. That's happy energy. And um and it feels like some disagreements can come to a nice resolution, say come around Friday or so. I don't know exactly what the aspects are doing at that time. Okay, thanks, Linda. So the full moon must be later in the day then. I thought we were still in Virgo, and that's good in a way because it's not in its new moon sign yet. So having the dark moon in the sign leading to the new moon sign is a really good time for releasing and letting go. Now I'm seeing, as I'm looking at the Three of Cups, I'm seeing like something being signed, and we may see some kind of like bipartisan agreement or something like that, or that may be happening already. Wasn't the government going to shut down or something like that? I don't know if that's been resolved yet. As you can tell, I'm not really up on MSN news. I try to stay away from it as much as possible, but at the same time, we need to keep our fingers on the pulse now. So I think it's okay to look at headlines, but not to get pulled in or sucked into that. It's all about programming. The select few trying to program the masses in order to satisfy what they want at the expense of what the masses need to be okay. So but the Hermit card, use your wisdom. This is very emotional energy, very reactive energy. You're going to find people are going to be very, what's the right word, cantankerous, is that the right word? I feel like Spirit's saying downright mean and ugly sometimes, and that we may feel like we're under more attack. This is where it gets put into a lot of practice, learning to be the observer of your emotions rather than feeding into it, and learning how, what is it called? I think it's called the 17-second rule, that if you see something that you react to, wait 17 seconds before responding. Give yourself a chance to not be in pure reaction, because that's like survival instinct. So I'm finding, because I'm becoming, it's a slow process. I mean, my YouTube channel, it grows by very slowly, but it's been on a continual growth cycle, which means I'm becoming slowly more and more of a public figure, and I'm getting more and more attacks, and I can't help what I feel. Like, we can't help what we feel emotionally, right? It's like trying to stand in front of train tracks with a speeding freight train like this, and thinking we're going to stop that train, but you can step back and observe your emotional reaction. So when I have that, like, see something, like it looks like an attack or whatever, and I feel that initial heart palpitation, that initial rush of adrenaline, I have the choice of whether I want to stay in that energy, or if I want to just calm my breathing down, bring my energy down into my root and my sacral, take a few deep breaths, and just be the observer of my egoic survival self reacting to a situation. So I choose to be the observer, and I think that's what we need to practice. It doesn't come overnight, by the way. It takes constant practice and constant reminding. But I think this is really what these cards here are really trying to tell us. It doesn't. I mean, it's intense in one way. I don't think you know we're looking at with the governments, like, anything terribly earth shattering. Like, I don't think like the bombs are going to start to drop or anything like that as well. But this gives a big opportunity for a lot of the deceptions, a lot of the programming, a lot of the agendas to start to be revealed. And this whole process, wait till the 20th of October, and especially into November, and we're gonna see, it's almost like the whole world flip on its head in a way, and we're gonna start to see some things coming out that's really starting to challenge what's being told to us, as far as what we need to do to stay safe and everything, during this crisis of what's happening. And the main thing is we want to stay strong and healthy, and to eat well, and to have really good thoughts, and to be mindful of the fact that stress, fear, and worry reduces our immune system. It bogs down the immune response in the body. So we have the media, which is very linked in with the pharmaceutical companies. And in fact, I think, with the single exception of CBS, there's board members in all of the mainstream news outlets, that represent the pharmaceuticals. So I'm not going to get too deep into that. If you guys want me to go more into more of the what I feel are the true conspiracies, I do that on Spear Mind Family on Patreon, because I don't want to get banned here. But but in any regards, this would be about uncovering deceptions. It'll be about and doing your research, and all that stuff. And but the Three of Cups is nice. I feel like it's Spirit's way of urging us to really be connected with our community. I started this channel as my way of creating and building community, conscious community of people that are awakening or are interested in awakening. So that's the primary reason. I mean, there's also a business side to it as well. With my practice as a medium and a teacher, but the main thing was really bringing people together, and I think this is really what this is trying to tell us. So let me move on to a few other things. Most honest. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we try to be in honesty and integrity. So new moon is 7:05 a.m. and so that's tomorrow morning, and so we'll be about 10 degrees into Libra. So I would think, I would have to look. I would think the moon would actually be going into Libra, like tonight even, but I could be mistaken. So I wanted to pull from the Native American deck, and then a message from the animal wisdoms, from the animal card, and then a message from our angels, and then they'll finish up that way. I may need glasses. I mean, I already know I need glasses. This is the one. Okay. Chief Counsel, but it's reverse. And this has this really goes along the line of what I'm saying. This would be the Hierophant, which is key. What's key for? Not be the Emperor. I'm sorry, not the Hierophant. This would be the Emperor in reverse. Emperor is Mars energy, or it's Aries energy, actually. Um, and this would again kind of give us a little bit more insight as to the stress and a lot of anger and frustration that's likely to really be surfacing, and really like a lot of people lashing out. Let me just see what I feel in this card. So what I'm seeing in this card is sort of almost like turning my back on a way to what's going on in the world, not in a negative way, but looking towards a different source of guidance. And 'cause in the card, it's sort of like the lookout is looking the other way, and he's just kind of checking out the landscape, on the other side of where the lookout person is. And to me, this is about really like looking ahead, and again really being in our own power. And let me just see what I'm asking for mention. I feel like it's saying, don't talk so much, listen, but not just not to listen, but to hear, and to listen to the subtleties, listen to the wind, the messages in the wind, listen to the messages in nature, listen to the animals, listen to your heart, listen to your guidance, and not to let yourselves be swayed by the programming, the system at large that's disempowering. And we're in this pandemic, and we're being fed all this fear stuff. And there's a placebo effect involved with this, because we're afraid, we're thinking about a terrible virus, and we're thinking about getting sick, and our loved ones getting sick, and whatever, and reducing our immune system with all this programming, all this news. And lo and behold, we're more vulnerable. But if we can stay in our root, which is our power and our connection to the earth, and if we can open the heart just 10 minutes a day, 3 times a day, of gratitude, of compassion in the heart, and really feeling it, and connecting the brain energy and vibrating in that actually increases the immunoglobulins, the gamma globulins A, and actually helps us to ward off viruses. And you're not to say anything super controversial, but the news says one thing. Another way of saying that is that people with rather than 700 million Americans have died according to official statistics of coronavirus. How about like one in less than 1 in 1,000 people that are not immune compromised under the age of 65 will survive, and in fact, over 80% of them will only have very minor symptoms, if any symptoms at all. Um, because that's another way of explaining that. And just say, also, I don't know why this hand is shaking. That's odd. I think spirit's really coming through right now. It's like, oh my God, this hand is shaking. um, but um, um, but I think you get the gist of where I'm going with that. There are ways to take care of yourself, and a lot of this is just healthy thoughts, and everything, and just understanding there's a reason why only small percentage of the people get the major symptoms, and that's not being explored enough. I'll put it that way. And my thinking, my opinion is there should be a vaccine. There's people that absolutely need that, but there also should be further education on how to take care of yourself. People have survived pandemics in the past. People have survived bubonic plague. They've survived smallpox. certain groups of people. And now we have all this technology, we have all this medical know-how. There is no excuse for people not being educated in how to stay safe, and using a vaccine as an augmentation of that, rather than saying you need that or else, basically. So I'm not against the vaccine, but I am against control and withholding of important information that could save people's lives. I'll put it that way. So again, moving right along, let me see what the animals have to say. So anyhow, yeah. That's a whole other can of worms, Michael. I'm just looking at your comments as well. I'll just put it this way: like any other vaccine or medication, do the potential risks outweigh the potential benefits? But yeah, the pharmaceutical companies have a responsibility of telling us exactly what's in these vaccines, and what the potential effects of that are, and what the potential benefits are, so that we can make decisions. um so anyway, so the animal, okay, let me just clear my mind a second. Okay, they're bringing me back to this card. That's camel. Oh, I like this. Trust that you have the resources to get you through the challenges before you. Yes, and I mentioned this is a pretty intense period of time coming up. The next 6 months or so, you'll have your spiritual resources, and it may not hurt to have some resources just in case, because when the possibilities, when there's a global economic collapse, and a pandemic, and wars or whatever, one possible consequence is food supplies getting cut off, or food chains getting interrupted for a time. So it's good to have your dry foods. It's good to have your non-perishables. It's good to be able to survive at least a month, if not a couple of months, if you have to. And I do a lot of weather stuff. I haven't been lately because I'm just too busy, but I would forecast the storms. And I'd always say, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Astrology is telling us what's going on. Numerology is telling us what's going on. It's energy, as shown in the stars. Collective consciousness is represented in the planetary movements. We're not disconnected from that. Numbers tell a story because this is a numbered universe that we're in, but we have free will also. Be aware of what the potential is, but also be aware of the options and how to get through it. At the end of the day, it's not doom and gloom. It's an awakening. It's a renewal. But in order for new growth to happen, the old stuff has to die away. We're in the autumn. Leaves have to fall to the ground, and for new leaves to come up in the spring. This has to happen. Be prepared. That's what the camel's telling us. So the next thing is, what are the angels telling us? Thank you, Sandra, for that. So yeah, and that's all anybody can ask. It's full disclosure and everything. So moving right along. Okay. So, in my mind, what are the angels saying? I don't know why I'm hearing the name Chris or Christopher. There's no angels with that name. But I got Opal, which is a lovely energy. This is from Doreen Virtue's Messengers from the Angels card. And your children on earth and in heaven are happy and well, cared for by God and the angels. So I feel like this is just a message for the parents out there, or people that have children or whatever. The angels are telling us we're going to be safe. It's an awakening. It's a process. and that we're going to be safe and everything. Um, so that's basically it. I promise I want to talk a little bit, just briefly, about the Spirit Mind family. That's our membership program here on YouTube. If you like what we do here, we dive deeper into those topics with exclusive content. So we're creating an inner core community. A lot of you that are here are part of the community already. So you would go to patreon.com/spirit mind family, and this is Spirit Communication Month. So all the stuff, like we do a live stream, we do a video, a meditation, a few other goody to do some posts, and we try to dive deeper into that. So we're gonna learn new ways of reaching out and connecting to our loved ones on the other side. And it's October, it's the Halloween season coming up. So I thought that was an appropriate topic for this. Um, Yeah. So that's patreon.com/spirit mind family. Then you can get more details for what that's about and everything. And like I said, it's just my inner community. I mean, you're my community, and I'm going to continue to share everything for free here. This is a membership program, so you could actually help support the channel also, which I'd appreciate if you join that as well and be part of the inner core. And tomorrow at 11, I'm going to do a live stream for the month of October, Shocktober, I'm going to call it, because this is the beginning of probably a 6 month, maybe longer period where the world's going to turn on its heels and going to turn upside down on its head. So I'm going to do this every month to help us prepare. And then at 7, this is all Eastern time, we have Heather Istara coming back, and she's going to talk about healing for those of us that work with spirit and talk to spirit, and that's all of you. We're all mediums, we're all channels. Some of us do it more than others, and she's going to lead us through a beautiful meditation. She's a very talented healer. And by the way, on am I getting my dates confused? When is the new moon? Is it tomorrow or? 'Cause I know we do something with Heather. I think we're doing that on Wednesday though. Anyways, I believe Wednesdays when we're doing the new moon meditation on Zoom, or I'm going to do a transmission, and and uh, and then Heather's going to do her healing transmission. So that's free also, but it's on Zoom. So you want to go to info@inbetweentheworlds.com and to get the login and everything. I have my phone off, but I'm pretty sure. But if I'm mistaken, I'll leave it in the comments. There'll be plenty of me time. New moon is the 6th. Thank you. I'm getting my dates confused. That's a problem. Yeah. The 6th is Sunday. And I'm looking in September. Jeez, no wonder. Thank you. Okay, yeah, Monday's the 4th. Oh, no wonder. Yeah, no wonder I'm a little bit confused. Okay, I apologize for that. The new moon is Wednesday, and Pluto goes direct on Wednesday. So I apologize. I had my dates a little bit off in the beginning. Thank you. And that's when Heather and I are going to be doing on Zoom. Okay, I think we've got it. Yeah. Thank you, Doreen, for that also. Very well. Thank you. Okay. Take care.